think having women in any position of leadership is important because it gives people role models and an inspiration and the opportunity for someone to look up to and see yourself. You can see yourself in similar positions as you get older and as you grow.
Being a woman in a leadership role is so against the norm. You have to walk the line of fitting some of those molds when having these conversations, when you're making asks, but also recognizing that fitting those molds is not what you're meant to be as a leader because the system was never built for you. And so it is walking that tricky line and learning how to play the system, but also not let the system take advantage and shut you down.
I think as a woman in any space, you have to tend to be a little bit louder than your male counterparts to get your voice across. And I think sometimes you have to take more drastic routes to get your voice across.
I think a lot of the time women talk about being seen as emotional in positions of leadership, and sometimes you feel like, oh, they're just being over dramatic or they're being emotional about this.
I started my freshman year doing absolutely nothing. I came into college with a 3-hour commute each way and said no thank you to any type of leadership. And I quickly learned that was not my path here. And part of what made me stay was these leadership roles. So I started with the Muslim Student Association, the MSA. My freshman year was kind of on and off involved with Commuter Student Association, just because they had free coffee, and that was a move. And then I quickly grew to see the kind of advocacy that it could do. And then I picked up some other roles like here and there in what I was interested. And then junior year was the big turning point where Dunya and I co-founded Women in Business. And that was sort of the domain that I had always seen as never reachable for women. And so it was, let's build this space ourselves. And that's then what brought me to working with the center and working in some of these roles and capacities, and now kind of brought me here.
And I think I always wanted to kind of be those women who were inspiring and were able to talk in front of a group of people. And I think coming to campus and seeing people in those roles inspired me even more to be like that. So kind of through high school and then through my time here, seeing women in those positions has just really changed my life because it shows that you can really do everything, which sounds cliche. But being in a position of a president here at a school that was primarily boys for a long time, it definitely just feels like we're making the steps in the right direction, and I think that's most important to see, especially for younger generations as well.
When I had started, there wasn't as much for women as there is now. There was no women's center. Even I think of Women in Business is a big student club I work with all the time, and they're wonderful. A lot of that wasn't here yet. So over the years, I was like, I really want a summer internship program for our female students. But I also recognize that there's a lot of barriers to internships for our students, right? It's just hard to get them no matter what. Even if you're strong and you have a good resume, it's hard to get them. Some of our students, there are financial limitations with internships. A lot of them don't pay well. Maybe they don't pay much at all. So, you're telling a student who may have, financial things they have to pay for. You might have to leave your really high-paying summer job where you're making $20 an hour to make $1,000 for the whole summer. And then I, again, just wanted to bring a lot of my knowledge about women's empowerment to here. So knowing all these different things, that's what allowed me to create WISE. So it stands for Women Influencing Successful Enterprise.
I think the staff and faculty are very, very welcoming of women leaders, and really urge do what they can to give women a platform on campus. I think with administration, it tends to be a little bit more of a fight, but I've definitely seen changes since I've been at Manhattan, and I've definitely seen more spaces on campus open up. But there is always room for improvement, and there is a need for an improvement on this campus.
I think Manhattan College has really changed my life for the better in all parts of my life, really. Academically, I've just learned way more than I could ever anticipate about public health, and I think also just all the different offices on campus, like career development and the Center for Academic Success and all the organizations I'm part of, really just push you to be the best you can be. I think really just having these connections and all these people on campus who are willing to help if you ask, and even if you don't ask, people are always reaching out to help you. And I think that's the most important part of being a Jasper, really. As we always say, there's the community and the small community here on campus. Everyone's always willing to help, whether that be administration or your peers or coaches or anyone.